Hey guys, I'm Andy from Ironman, and pretty popular, so I gotta start by slapping the roof right now, because I guess I'm a salesman. We're out here at Beasley Knob OHV Trail with our Iron 9er from 1998. It has no lockers, 33-inch tires, very short light bars, so they don't count, only about 6 inches long, but you know those matter. All right, but what's important here is we got, if you can walk with me over here, I don't know how to get there without that tree. Let's go through this little hole right here in the woods. We got a whole bunch of rocks. Why don't you show these guys what we got going on here? And then to get here, we had a whole lot more rocks. This Jeep only has 3 inches of lift. It only has Bilstein 5100 shocks. One of them in the rear is completely dead. Ultra 5-star wheels, circa 1992. And what we're doing today is doing some real-world testing on our ZJ4 Link. And the bugs are unbelievable. If you want to get under here and try to look at this, we've got some really cool lounge music playing in there. We've got our full 4-link system, front and rear. Rear is double triangulated. Front is double triangulated, but it doesn't break the 30 degrees, so it does not interfere with your drag link angles. It does help keep the front end more rigid, but you cannot run this without a track bar unless you move your engine out of the way. If you want to do it, that's on you. But what we're showing off, and I don't know if we can get the camera in here, but if you can see this right here, our upper link separation point compared to our lower, they're only about 1 inch apart. But if I wanted to take this out in something really muddy, I would probably take that up 2 holes. So I'd get a little bit more down pressure on the rear end. But what that is doing is that's pushing my front end down more, so when I tap the brakes and the throttle at the same time, it's gonna get me more traction in the front end. And I did that all the way to get here. And in the front, we've got this guy pretty close too, but not all the way close because I want it to drive a little bit nicer on the road. It's really stable, it makes a lot of traction, but more than anything, it doesn't want to fall over on me every time I hit a rock. So let's spend some time in the rocks and see how this thing does. back. We made it up the hill in one shot. I wanted Kevin to come over here and film this so you guys can actually see how big this stuff is. I know a lot of guys wheel on rocks a lot bigger than this. A lot of guys would never get their Jeeps anywhere near anything like this. But what's important here is the capability of the vehicle based on what the suspension's doing for you. And that's the evidence of it. That it was always able to find ground. It was always working. The suspension was moving. It wasn't unloading. It was constantly looking for traction. Every time you bump, instead of it every time you hit a bump, instead of it opening up and pulling the tires away from the rocks, it actually came together. The energy on the tires bit the rock, pulled the body down, and it moved forward. And we were able to make it up this one trail, again with no lockers, used 33s in one shot. Yeah, I had to stop and back up a little bit. That's normal. But that's the evidence of real geometry in your suspension works. A heavy pedal helps. Don't be afraid to wheel it. And if you're using Ironman parts, hit it as hard as you want. Almost there. Come on, get hotter. You know you want it. This is exhausting. Ugh. It's getting hot. Like new.